notes for 6-6. This is translating quadratics. Okay, so we're still doing quadratic equations, but now we're going to talk about translating them. Okay, so what do the values mean and what's happening to the graph when we're changing these values? Okay, so for your first example, it says graph y equals x squared and y equals negative x squared. You can use your calculator doing it. Okay, and I'm going to quickly just do it on here because you're going to get 1, negative 1. And 1, 1, and you're going to get negative 1, 1. Okay, and then you're going to have, it's going to start here, and then you're going to go to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to mirror it over here, right? Everything mirrors. So let's go ahead and draw that. Okay, now the negative x squared is going to be going the other way, but it's a reflection on the x-axis. So the same thing is happening, just on the other side. Okay, so reflect that down. Now then, see how it looks like a reflection? So what was happening here? When we have x squared and negative x squared, what did the negative do? It reflected across the x-axis. That's what just happened, right? This was our x squared, and this was our negative x squared. And look how it's just a mirror on the x-axis. It reflected across the x-axis, okay? So now let's look at number 2. Now, instead of putting a negative and a positive, we're actually going to add numbers in front of the x squared. So you start with x squared, then you added 2x, and you added 1/2 x. So you have a number over 1, and you have a number under 1, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so first you're going to do your x squared, which is going to be the same as up here. You're going to have 0, and you're going to have negative 1, 1, and you're going to have 1, 1. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. This is x squared. Okay, so when you do 2x squared, it actually moves up inside here. So you're going to have the point, let me find a point on here. It looks like 1, 2. Negative 1, 2. And you're going to have 1 over here, which is going to be 1, 2. Okay, and then you're going to have 2, and it's going to be 8. So 2 and 8. And it's going to mirror over here. So it's going to end up, your 0, 0 is still there, but it's going to end up being inside like that. So that's 2x squared. Okay, now then your 1/2 x squared, where do you think it's going to go? It's going to go outside the x squared. It's getting flatter. Okay, so you would have 2, 2. Looks like 2, 2 over here. And then, anyways, I'm not going to do every single point or my video is going to go bad. It's going to end up looking kind of like this. Okay, so your x squared is on the outside, your x squared is in the middle, and then your 2x squared is on the inside. So now it's saying, what did the 2 do? So the 2 brought it in, right? So it made it narrower. That's what we're going to write in our notes, which is also called a stretch. So it's the opposite of what you would think, right? Narrow, or you would think shrink to me. But it's actually called a stretch. So when it gets narrow, it's called a stretch. Now the 1/2 actually made it get wider. It's the one on the outside. So the 1/2 was wider, and it made it shrink by 2. So it's the opposite of what you would think. You call it, even though it's wider, you call it a shrink. The number got smaller, it's a shrink. The number's bigger, so it's a stretch. Okay? Now then, let's look at the bottom. So I'm not going to draw out all these points, but I'm going to basically show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to look like this. Okay? And you're going to have the x squared, right? Which is going to look like this. And then you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to look like this. Okay? So you've got all 3 of these, right? Your x squared is your middle. okay? Your x squared plus 4 is up here, and your x squared minus 5 is right here on the outside. So now on your notes, you need to, this is the wrong number, I don't know why it's here. What did you need to write plus 4. Change it to plus 4. What did the plus 4 do to the graph? So over here we have x squared plus 4. What did it do? It moved it up 1, 2, 3, 4. It moved your vertex up 4. So you can hit shift, you can put shift up 4. That's what it did. It shifted the whole graph up 4. Now then, where it says what did the negative 2 say, mark the negative 2 out. And it's supposed to be negative 5. What did the negative 5 do to the graph? So now looking over here on the outside is that one. And what did it do? It shifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It shifted down 5. Okay? So the plus or minus after the x squared is making it shift up or down. The number in front of the x squared is making it shrink and stretch. And then the negative in front of the x squared and the positive make it reflect on the x-axis, right? All right, so let's turn your notes over. You're going to have number 4. It says graphing these things, what does it do? So now you're adding a number in your parentheses with your x. So you're saying x plus 3 squared and x minus 4 squared. So let's see what my graph is going to look like. If you did that on your calculator, and I'm not going to do all the exact points, but I'll show you that your x squared is going to be in the middle, okay, and it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to look like this. And then what did we say? Plus 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is the x plus 3. This is the x minus 4. And this one in the middle is your x squared. Okay? So that's kind of me just basically plotting it. I mean, quickly sketching it. Okay? But now it's saying, what did the plus 3 do? So the plus 3 was over here. It's to the right. It moved it over to the right 3. So put shift right 3. And what did the x minus 4 do? It shifted it to the left 4. So you would say shift left 4. Okay. So now look in the middle of your page and read. These are the rules that you're going to use whenever you're doing your transformations. Okay. Look back at this. You're going to need this out in front of you when you're doing your assignment. Okay. Because it tells you, and when you're using translation form, and it's in this form, using this formula, what your vertical shift is. It's your K. Okay? Your horizontal shift is your H. That's going left and right. Your shrink and stretch is going to be your A. And then depending on if A is positive or negative, it's going to tell you which way it's reflecting on the x-axis. Okay? So using those rules, now we're going to answer this bottom section. It says, describe the following transformations on the function y equals x squared, which is a quadratic. Okay, so now using your a parentheses x minus h squared plus k, we need to find what these are. Okay, so the first one is going to be, you're going to reflect because of the negative, which is your last rule. Since it's a negative, it's a reflection on the x-axis. So reflected across x-axis. Okay, now then your k, which is out here, it's telling you what is going up or down. So your k is going down 1, right? And now your x plus 2 is your h, and it's telling you if it's going right or left. Okay, so when it has a negative, it's right, but when it has a positive, it's left. So this is telling me left. Left 2. And that's because it says x plus 2. Okay, so reflected across the x-axis, down 1, left 2. That's your transformation. Now let's look at the next one. You're going to shrink by 1/2 because your A is 1/2. Okay, and it tells you up here, let's see, your shrink and stretch. If it's less than 1, it's a shrink. If it's greater than 1, it's a stretch. So since it's less than 1, it's a shrink by 1/2, and you're going to the right 1. Okay, right here, h. Your h is negative. So right up here it tells you when h is negative, you shift to the right 1. So now the next one, you're going to have a stretch by 2. That's your 2 in front of your x squared. And it's going to go up by 1. That's your plus 1. Now then number 8, you have a reflection across the x-axis, that negative sign in the front. Reflect on x-axis. Now then you're going to have a stretch by 3. Okay, that's the 3. Then you're going to have, this is telling you right 4 and up 2. Okay, can you see? And up 2. Okay, let's flip the page over. I'm only going to be able to do like 1 or 2 of these. I'm afraid I'm going to run out of time. So it says shift left 4 units and up 2 units. So you're always starting with y equals x squared. Now you need to make the changes to the equation using these signs. So y would be equal to, it says we're shifting left 4 units. So that means we're going to have x plus 4 squared. And you're going to go up 1, makes that a plus 1. So the left 4 was the positive 4 right here. And the up 1 makes this plus 1. So now, let's see, we're going to stretch by 5. That's your a in the front. Shift right 6 units. So that's going to be your x minus 6 squared. And up 2 units is going to make it plus 2. Easy, right? Reflect across the x-axis is going to make it negative in the front. And shift down. So shifting up and down is your k. So it just stays x squared minus 5, which is your k. Okay, because there was no h. It didn't tell us, right, anything about shifting right or left. Okay, so now the next one is going to be, you're going to shift by a factor of 1/3. You're going to reflect across the x-axis, so it's going to be negative 1/3. You're going to shift right 7, so that's going to make it x minus 7 squared. And you're going to go down 3, making it minus 3. Okay, let's look at the last one. If you wanted to shift, now it's giving you this equation, and you want to go up 4 and left 2, what would your new equation be? So you're starting off with y is equal to x plus 2 squared minus 1. So now if we wanted to go up 4 and left 2, you're going to be saying x plus 2. You're going to add 2, which is going to be your left 2. And you already have minus 1, but now it's saying what? Up 4. So you're going to add 4. So we're adding the 2 and we're adding the 4. That's what we're doing there. So now we're going to get y is equal to 2 plus 2 is 4. So you're going to have x plus 4 squared. Negative 1 plus 4 gives you positive 3. So that's your equation. That's what your equation would be. Now let's look at the last one. Y is equal to, what do you have? X squared plus 3. And it's telling you to go right 4 and up 2. So that means y would be equal to, right 4 means x minus 4 squared. Okay, so that's your right 4. And now up 2. So the original equation says plus 3, and now you're going up 2, so we're going to add 2 to that. So you're going to get y is equal to x minus 4 squared plus 5. That's it. Alright, so rewatch the video if you don't understand. It's basically using the formulas that they've given you over here. Refer to this. Okay, this is what you need to be studying.